Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk. It's me, Niall, just here giving a quick reaction to the news that just broke this morning that Dalton Smith will return in a stay busy fight on April 19th at the Cannon Medical Arena in Sheffield, England, Smith's hometown, as he takes on the Canadian Mathieu Germain over 12 rounds in the super lightweight division. Yeah, before we get into today's video, please don't forget, I'd really appreciate it if you could drop a like on the video, subscribe to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel, follow us on all social media, and yeah, like, share, subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, Dalton Smith is back. Mateo Germain is the opponent as a headliner, and initially myself, not only myself, plenty of other boxing fans can't help but feel dreadfully underwhelmed with this choice of opponent. As fans, even Matchroom Boxing posted it as saying that it was a stay active fight, for Dalton Smith, but it is a headliner in his hometown, and yeah, opponent was underwhelming to follow on from a shockingly underwhelming opponent last time out in Waleed Weezer, where Dalton Smith knocked him out in round one. Weezer didn't deserve to be in the same ring as Dalton Smith, to be honest with you. And now it's another underwhelming choice of opponent in Mateo Germain. But, you know, you have to kind of look at it in their perspective too. Dalton Smith is the mandatory challenger for the WBC super lightweight world title. So he's not gonna take a ridiculously hard fight. He's not gonna take a challenging fight while he's sitting on a mandatory chance at a world title against Alberto Puello. Of course, who we just seen fight of defeat Sandor Martin by a very controversial decision win last weekend to retain his title on the Tank Roach undercard. So yeah, I can understand that in that way too. You're not going to risk a mandatory position unnecessarily. But Mateo Germain is a poor opponent. He really is. He's not a great fighter. He has a couple of losses on his record to kind of not great fighters either. And uh, the best result on his record is probably a draw against Steve Claggett, former Teofimo Lopez opponent Steve Claggett, who he drew with in 2019. And Claggett is not a world beater by any means himself, as I say, most known for fighting Teofimo Lopez. But yeah, he's not a great fighter. He's fairly light on his feet, fairly quick feet. But he's not a big puncher. He doesn't have the fastest hands. He keeps his hands low. He leaves big openings that Dalton Smith should capitalize on and should capitalize on early. And he's not a dangerous puncher either. 11 KO wins in 26, I believe, total victories for the Canadian. So yeah, it's underwhelming, disappointing name. But on the other hand, I can kind of understand, that it's not. It was never going to be a big risk if it wasn't a world title fight. But there is other names that I would have loved to see kind of Dalton Smith step in with before he faces Puello for a world title. There's the likes of Lane Paro, which would be an incredibly tough fight across a domestic clash with Adam Azim. And a lot of people say what you want about whose fault that is that hasn't happened yet. But Azim, Paro, Isaac Cruz, even the likes of a Regis Prograis, a former world champion, former arguably best in the division, to kind of test yourself against before you step in with world champions at 140, just because I don't see what you learn or how you kind of keep active or keep busy by beating these guys. We's a first round KO, and I think Mateo Germain, I think this fight has a really, really big chance of being another first round knockout for Dalton Smith. I really do. I just think he's too sharp, too accurate, too heavy handed, too quick for Jermaine. And I think it could be an early KO. So I don't know how you're kind of preparing yourself for world class fighters when they're fighting this level of opposition. But yeah, names that I would have liked to see him against, the likes of Cruz, Prograis, Paro, you know, names like that. Even a Sandor Martin would be a really kind of good benchmark fight for where Dalton Smith is at. But he's mandatory challenger, so he's gonna not risk that where he doesn't need to. But yeah, Dalton Smith back 19th of April. The undercard also announced fighters for the undercard, and they're actually maybe more intrigued for the undercard fights than the main event with this one. To be honest with you, a couple of interesting names. You've got George Frisoli, the hot prospect, is back. You've got Josh Padley fighting his first fight under the Matchroom banner. Of course, Padley stole everybody's hearts a couple of weeks ago when he put up a valiant effort on at late notice in Saudi against Shakur Stevenson. So he's back now, changed his life, signed with Matchroom Boxing, and yeah, hopefully good things had to come for Padley after that performance against Stevenson. So yeah, Vasoli, Padley, and the return of Josh Warrington. Interestingly enough, the former two-time world champion at featherweight is back. Of course, the last time we seen him was last September when he lost to Anthony Gacacci in a world title fight in Wembley, and it looked like that was it for him. It looked like he was done. Put his gloves in the ring, kind of retracted on that, said it was a rash decision, and now he's back for one more run. What will be one more run at what he hopes will be a world title. So yeah, I like Warrington. Always an exciting fighter, very exciting, must-see fighter. Always brings action, non-stop pace. And an interesting point that Eddie Hearn made just a couple of days ago, I believe, that he will look to make Josh Warrington and Michael Conlan. Should Warrington win here and Conlan win tonight, as I'm recording this in Brighton, in his comeback fight. So that'll be a fascinating fight. Real loser leaves town matchup that, last chance saloon for both men, and the atmosphere will be electric, whether it's in Ireland or England. So yeah, that'll be a fascinating future clash between Warrington and Conlan if Warrington wins his comeback fight on this card. So yeah, there is intrigue there for the April 19th card in Sheffield, England, as Dalton Smith returns to face Mathieu Germain, the Canadian, on April 19th, as he continues his push towards what he hopes will be a world title and what many people expect of him, a world title fight or a world title win even. But yeah, he need big fights after this. No more stay active fights of this level for Dalton Smith. But yeah, that's just my quick reaction to the news that he's back. Dalton Smith is back, staying busy. Let us know what you think in the comments. Get involved down below. What do you make of the opponent? Can you understand why it's not a great name for the position Dalton Smith is in? And who would you like to see him fight? And most importantly, can Dalton Smith actually win a world title when he does eventually challenge for one? So yeah, get involved down below. And as I said at the start of the video, please like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel at ESBR Boxing. We'd really appreciate it. Follow us on all social media. And yeah, until next time, take care.